It's crucial that whatever the emergency is that the president incurs upon Canada in an effort to damage us, that we're able to respond quickly to minimize the damage. We see this as emergency legislation. This is not everyday legislation. This is not routine legislation. This is in an emergency situation where we need legislative authority, we need government authority to do something quickly to minimize damage to the economy, to people, in an unpredictable action from an unpredictable president.
British Columbia's socialist NDP Premier David Eby wants to bypass our democracy and set himself up to become the province's most powerful premier in history. And he's using Donald Trump's tariff threats as the perfect scapegoat to do so. His so-called Tariff Response Act, Bill 7, will give him sweeping powers to override our current provincial laws, regulations, and even the legislature itself, handing him dictator-like control under the guise of economic emergency, just like his government did after the declared COVID emergency. And that's why today, this report is also a call to action for you to sign our petition at StopEby'sPowerGrab.com, letting all the MLAs know you want them to vote that bill down. And after you do that, do one more quick step and share it so others can do the same. Because if Eby's Bill 7 passes, you better believe more just like it will start passing across this country as well. Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, and here comes the tyranny again. Unless this time we stop it in its tracks. David Eby and his Attorney General Nikki Sharma's Bill 7, the Economic Stabilization and Tariff Response Act, is a power grab straight out of a dystopian nightmare that I don't want to see become Canadians' reality. Eby and Sharma expect you to believe that Trump's tariff threats warrant them getting such powers, as though the province doesn't already have the power to fight back against the tariffs. And they also expect you to believe that they should have the ability to make such rash decisions and unchecked about our economy after they just delivered our budget, which had our largest deficit ever and showed that under David Eby, we're about to step into double our debt, meaning more debt than under any other premier. The introduced legislation was proposed and will soon be voted on in our legislature conveniently, shortly after Eby's one-seat government finalized its support partnership with the BC Green Party's MLAs. But believe it or not, even they appear to be taken back by the proposed assault on our democracy. They are saying they would like to see it amended to include more guardrails. If Bill 7 passes, Eby's cabinet could unilaterally change laws, bypass regulations, and sidestep democratic processes. It might as well be Eby enacting a War Measures Act. But don't worry, Nikki Sharma wants you to rest assured that it's just temporary, just until May 2027. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you've seen a government surrender its power without a fight once they've seized it? We've seen this playbook before. These Marxist globalists with their elbows up is simply the new just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. 2 weeks that turned into 2 years of lockdowns, forced closures, shattered livelihoods, stripped away our constitutional rights, and tore families apart. But misleading the public to fulfill an authoritarian agenda is nothing new for Eby. But a powerful portion of the public seeing right through that at the start and instantly taking action against it? Well, that could be. That's something that even he and the other BC MLAs who want your vote may not be expecting. And so our Stop Eby's Power Grab petition won't just send the message about how strong the force against this bill is to the legislature. It will send a message to other leaders watching closely to see if this is the type of power grab they want to try as well in their jurisdiction. After all, our newly sworn-in Prime Minister, Mark Carney, recently said this at a rally.
And something that my government is going to do is to use all of the powers of the federal government, including the emergency powers of the federal government, to accelerate the major projects that we need in order to build this economy and take on the Americans.
So he wants to use emergency powers too. And you know where he said that? It was Kelowna, BC. Coincidence? I don't think so. Carney normalizing the language in BC set up the stage for Eby to do what he's doing now and to also test the waters for Carney to see if he should continue pursuing this as he tries to pursue forming the next government. But not on our watch. Eby says he needs these powers because Trump is unpredictable. But here's the thing. Eby is predictable, and we know what to expect. We've seen what he does with power. We've seen who suffers when he has it, and we've seen just how far he'll go to keep it. Fool us once, shame on Eby. Fool us twice, shame on BC. Go to stopebyspowergraph.com. The writing's on the wall, so will you stand against it? Go to stopebyspowergrab.com today and sign and share our petition.